Hello, everyone. My name is Dixon Chu, and this is a presentation of the Cloud Autism application. Without further ado, let's get started. Cloud Autism is a computer based learning platform to assist kids diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. This platform would provide typing, computer mouse, and also other computer exercises to give kids with ASD more fine motor skill practice and provide more familiarity with the uses a computer can offer. The end goal of this project is to provide an online environment where students with ASD can succeed, so they will be able to later independently use the computer as adults. One of my inspirations is education.com. This website offers typing games that are aimed in developing the typing abilities of kids. And another inspiration I had for this project is Touch, Type, Read, and Spell. This website provides a multi-sensory course that teaches typing, reading, and spelling. In addition, this website provides very helpful articles about kids with ASD and the difficulties they face using a computer. There aren't many learning platforms that offer computer-based exercises like typing and mouse movement catered specifically to kids with ASD. I'm confident that cloud autism will help this demographic, more so in Utah, where 1 in 54 kids are diagnosed with ASD, higher than the national average of 1 in 68 kids. My design skills will be challenged for this web project, but the goal to helping kids with ASD is a challenge worth taking up. Cloud Autism is designed specifically for children diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. This project provides an online outlet to those kids where they can improve on their computer proficiency. Teachers and parents of kids with ASD would also have a need for this project as well to support the learning environment of these kids. For the competitive analysis, I searched high and low to find any online learning platform that is meant for kids with ASD, and there weren't many options out there. Most competitors did have typing exercises to improve typing proficiency, but none of them were catered to kids with ASD. As stated in my competitive analysis, the competitors that I found didn't have all the features that my project would provide. The competitors either weren't learning platforms catered to and or providing the tools and strategies necessary for kids with ASD to succeed, or they didn't offer any exercises other than typing. The expert I consulted with on this project is Courtney Cunningham. She has a double master's in elementary and special education teaching from Westminster College and has over 9 years of teaching experience in both elementary and special education environments. The interview I had with her was very pleasant, and I learned much about kids with ASD and how this project can help these kids. My main takeaways from this interview is that this project needs to be differentiated and customizable for each student and their needs. The exercises that each child sees should be based on their current proficiency level and individualized education plan, or IEP. My primary audience are kids aged 3 to 11 who are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. These same kids also require fine motor skill practice and are looking to learn more about the different functionalities of a computer. I created a survey for parents that have kids diagnosed with ASD. My consultant was able to forward the survey to schools here in Utah that catered specifically to students with autism. For the safety of the students and in accordance with HIPAA, I will not list the schools the students attended. I got a wide variety of responses in the demographics. Most of the kids were 5 to 9 years old. Most kids were boys, and a lot of kids started using assistive technology like laptops and iPads at a young age. In the same survey, I also asked about the kids' current typing proficiency and the proficiency using a computer. In the majority of the responses, most kids can turn on the computer with assistance. For typing proficiency, most kids can type their name using a physical keyboard or an assistive technology keyboard with assistance. In addition, my survey also contained questions asking the child's proficiency with using a computer mouse, and in what way does the child use the computer. In the majority of the responses, most kids use a touchscreen rather than a computer mouse, and most kids also use the computer to watch videos on platforms like YouTube and Netflix. So here's my first persona, David. He's 8 years old and learns from home due to COVID-19 restrictions, which is true for most kids around the country, and not just the ones with autism spectrum disorder when COVID-19 began. Many students had to start attending classes online. In addition, most of them aren't accustomed to using a computer to learn. The COVID-19 pandemic required schools across the country to overhaul their teaching and strategies so that they could effectively be implemented in an online format. According to my consultant, Courtney Cunningham, one of the main concerns made evident to educators was the evident lack of resources currently available for our students diagnosed with ASD. The goal of this cloud autism project is to help kids like David become more independent in using a computer, so these skills can translate the next time schoolwork has to be completed using a computer. And this is David's user story. When David attended school in person, he usually receives reinforcements in the form of music clips for his accomplishments in class. While some students respond to points, stars, and stickers, most students with ASD respond more effectively to their chosen personal reinforcers. For David, this was his music clips. Since David started attending class online at home due to COVID-19 restrictions at his school, he wasn't able to receive his usual reinforcements. The Cloud Autism Project will allow David's guardians to set up custom reinforcements for David so he can be rewarded with his favorite music clips whenever he completes an exercise. And here is David's user task flow. Once David logs in, he'll click on his daily learning session to start his exercise for the day. Every kid that uses Cloud Autism will have different needs and end goals based on their current proficiency levels. So in David's case, his exercise involves dragging shapes into shape outlines. Once David completes his exercise, a pop-up will come up congratulating David once David completes the exercise, and then he is rewarded with links to his favorite music clips. For my second persona, this is Claire. She is 7 years old and someone who can be overstimulated easily, which leads to meltdowns. Many kids with ASD can escalate to meltdowns, and the behaviors that are experienced during these meltdowns can vary from low to high severity. This escalation can be potentially dangerous for both Claire and her family. It is important for the Cloud Autism Project to have tools that parents and guardians can access when kids like Claire escalate to a meltdown during online exercises. These tools will preserve the online exercise, so once the child is calm, they can continue with the exercise. And here is Claire's user story. Claire likes to use the computer to watch her favorite Disney movie, Tangled, as a reinforcement before her online learning exercises. When Claire gets her reinforcements taken away, Claire is escalated and is prone to meltdowns. Her behaviors during meltdowns vary, but usually involves Claire hitting the keyboard with her hands. This will result in the computer that Claire uses to glitch, turn off, or open inappropriate content, which will take away from Claire's learning period. Claire's mom is able to use the Cloud Autism Companion app to block keyboard input from Claire's computer. Once Claire is calm and re-regulated, her mom then unlocks Claire's keyboard on the same app, so Claire can continue with her session. And here is Claire's user task flow. Before Claire is about to start her daily learning session for typing proficiency, she begins to show signs of a meltdown. Claire's mom recognizes the signs Claire is exhibiting and opens the Cloud Autism Companion app on her phone, and locks Claire's keyboard from any input while Claire escalates to a meltdown. Once Claire has re-regulated and is over her meltdown, her mother unlocks the keyboard. Claire is able to begin her daily learning session after that. The screen prompts Claire to type her name. Claire also sees 6 square boxes with the letters of her name listed individually under each box. As Claire types each letter of her name, the letters appear inside their respective box. Once Claire finishes up typing her name, a pop-up will appear congratulating Claire on completing her exercise. Claire is then rewarded for the completion of her exercise with Tangle-inspired stickers. And here is my third persona, Alex. Alex is 11 years old, and he enjoys playing games like Fortnite and watching TV shows like The Simpsons. He also has difficulty with his fine motor skills, which results in difficulties doing physical schoolwork. Kids like Alex, who have a low proficiency in fine motor control, require a lot of assistance from a teacher for help and support. It was important for the Cloud Autism Project to have the same accessibilities to an instructor as they would in a physical classroom, so kids like Alex can complete their exercises with the assistance of an on-demand educator. And here's Alex's user story. As stated in the previous slide, Alex's current fine motor control proficiency is affecting his ability to do physical schoolwork, which is inhibiting his academic growth. Alex usually relies on the assistance of a teacher to help him complete his exercises. Alex wants a way to improve his fine motor skill proficiency, but also have access to an available instructor to help him with his exercise, should the exercise become too challenging. Cloud Autism allows Alex to click just a button that will connect him to an available online instructor that is able to assist Alex with his exercise. And here is Alex's user task flow. Based on his current mouse proficiency, Alex is given an exercise to move his computer mouse over each circle for 3 seconds. Alex sees 3 circle outlines in a horizontal line, but Alex is unclear of his expectations of the exercise, so he clicks on the help button. Alex is then connected to an online instructor via video chat. The online instructor is then able to explain to Alex on how to move his mouse over to the first circle. Once 3 seconds have passed, the circle outline fills up to a green color. Alex is then able to move his mouse over to the other circles for 3 seconds apiece, completing his exercise. A pop-up then comes up congratulating Alex on completing his exercise, and then Alex is rewarded with links to his favorite Simpsons TV clips. And lastly, here's the mood board for my project. I chose a color palette that included mostly soft, muted colors because some kids react negatively to brighter colors that you would typically see on kids' games or exercises. According to my consultant, Courtney Cunningham, overstimulation from sensory input like sights, sounds, colors, or tastes can be distressing for students with ASD, and they may cause behavioral escalations and or poor academic performance. Muted colors such as blues, greens, and pale yellows provide a more soothing and appropriate work environment for our students with ASD. For the typeface, there were certain letters in the alphabet that needed to be distinguishable enough for the kids with ASD to understand. Students need a concrete understanding of letters and their formation before abstract interpretations of letters are introduced in fonts. For example, letters like Q needed to have the hooked tail at the end, and letters like J needed the curved descender. I believe this typeface, KG Neatly Printed, satisfied all my requirements. And that concludes my presentation of the Cloud Autism Project. Please forward any questions or comments you may have to my email or through the contact page on my website. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.